Good morning. Really good to be here at Payment Summit. We have extremely nice weather outside right now, so it's almost a shame that we're all confined in a dark room, but we'll make it worth your while. What I have in store for you this morning is no protocol remarks, no aspirational statements about let's build this, let's do this, and no motherhood statements about let's unlock Canadian potential, let's enable our small businesses and things like that, okay? We have very tangible stuff. We're gonna go over two products that are fully operational and live in the Canadian market today, and that represent precisely that, okay? What Canadian innovation can do for the Canadian economy. Okay, these products were made in Canada by a Canadian company, namely us, in collaboration with many other Canadian companies, including several financial institutions, too many to name, to solve two very tough challenges that the Canadian financial industry has been facing over the last few years, okay? Namely open banking, so the need for customers to be able to share their data securely and conveniently from one provider to the other, and real-time payments, more specifically, the possibility for a user to be able to shift money from their account in one place to another one of their accounts at a different institution instantly and risk-free from the standpoint of the institutions, okay? So two very tough challenges on which, as we all know, the government has been trying to solve for years and years, innumerable consultations, etc. on the matter. And today we have two great products to show for it, two solutions. Before we do a slightly deeper dive into them though, I'm gonna get a little bit into the how we got there. And this is the only part of my short speech in which I will use a buzzword. So how did we get there? Partnerships, okay? Partnerships specifically between fintechs and financial institutions. So the traditional marriage that everyone is always trying to achieve between nimble, innovative, and the robustness and the security of our world-renowned financial institutions, okay? And these partnerships happen at two different levels. It's both, technically speaking, at product level, and it's also being done more at more metaphorically speaking, at the ecosystem level, okay? For example, in the payment product that I'm gonna show you in a couple of moments, we partnered with several financial institutions, our banking as a service partners, to operate settlement accounts. We partnered with other financial institutions to provide the liquidity backing for that product, so on and so forth. So product level partnership and also ecosystem level partnership. And what I mean by that is really our DNA as a middleman company. So in all our product lines, whether it's our traditional bank account connectivity, financial data aggregation, whether it's our newer open banking product, or our even newer payment product, the dynamic is always fundamentally the same. There's two financial services providers, and there's one customer in the middle who wants to cause an interaction between these two providers, okay? It could be sending data from one side to the other, or money from one side to the other. But fundamentally, we always operate as a rail in the middle. And for all the buzz about customer experience that we always hear, is the new thing we all need to obsess about, because customers have higher and higher expectations. They want things to happen instantly. They want things to be intuitive. for all the buzz around customer experience, for us, yes, it's important because at the end of the day, the customer does use our widgets, so they have to be nice and shiny and intuitive. But where our real obsession is developer experience on both sides of the aisle. And as a middleman, this is the secret sauce that's enabled these two products to see light of day and be adopted in market, is because we obsess on developers on both sides of the aisle. So what it means is when we approach a fintech company, we speak their language. We tell them, we know that you don't want to build 100 APIs to 100 different banks. You only want one. We know that you don't want to have to program every time your use case with your required data, with everything. We know. We'll pre-program that for you. And conversely, when we talk to a financial institution, we tell them, we know your requirements. We speak your language. We're actually owned. Our parent company is a bank too. Therefore, OSFI, operational risk frameworks, they apply to us. I get it. I know the format you want to use. I know you want the latest and brightest FDX. No problem. I'm used to it. I can even translate your API into it for you. So we speak the languages on both sides. And that really is the secret sauce that made these products viable. Many others have tried, by the way, but the product is always skewed towards one side or the other. And for it to get adopted, it really needs to be both. So on that little preamble, let's take a slightly deeper look at both. So first off, Flinks Outbound. This is our product that enables open banking. And the simplest way to think about it is every grand aspiration you've heard about open banking, this is it materialized. Okay, so most importantly, here in the middle, it's a turnkey open banking environment where we build an API that the financial institution retains ultimate control over, but while we operate it for them and manage all of the third parties that access it. So the technology is API-based, OAuth-based, okay? Meaning it gets rid of screen scraping. If I'm gonna put it in plain language, when a user wants to link a fintech service to their bank account with you, they no longer share their credentials with a robot that then enters the account and recovers the data, okay? Instead, they're redirected within your bank environment where they authenticate with you, with all your security controls in place, and then a token is produced. And that token contains everything needed to enable the API interaction, okay? Who is the customer? What's the use case they're powering? What data do they need? A record of the consent they've granted, so on and so forth. And then that allows the interaction to happen over a secure API instead of a screen scraping robot that gets into the account, okay? So that's the most important thing because it gets rid of the most important problem, which everyone agrees is screen scraping, okay? Big systemic security risk. But it also triggers other side benefits, okay? So to the screen on the right here, as you can see, it provides you visibility because when you're being screen scraped en masse by aggregators, you know you're being screen scraped because you can see all the traffic and you can recognize that it's not a human, it's a robot, but you don't know what the robot does, right? You don't know what data is grabbing. You don't know who it's sending it to. We presume it's all legitimate because we know the players in the industry, et cetera, but it's better to know, right? So in a tokenized world, now you know. You know exactly which of your customers are sharing data, with whom, etc. So it allows you to take action and react to this and be more relevant for your customers. So you can either target them in a more tailored manner. If you see that John Doe likes to do XYZ, leverage that type of service, you can either target John Doe in a more tailored manner. And also at a macro level, you can see across your entire customer base the types of services they're using. So you get the visibility. And also, and perhaps most importantly, the fact that this product brings you in a tokenized world also puts the control back in the hands of your customers. So that's on the left-hand side here. We provide all the tooling for you to very, very easily build a consent page within your online banking interface, where the customer can go back to, inspect all the permissions they've granted, which data they're sharing to whom, et cetera, and revoke them whenever they want. This product is already proven in the Canadian market. Okay? Couple of institutions here, different sizes using it, ranging from DSIBs to smaller credit unions. If there's anyone from Columbia Valley Credit Union in the room, thanks for being an early adopter of this product. One striking statistic that I want to share today is the one you see here on the screen. Okay, so in the case of National Bank, who's been using the product for 2 years already, they eliminated 90% of the screen scraping that was going on within the institution, okay? And this brings me to another element, okay? This 90% here is about retail accounts specifically, because that's that's where they adopted the product. But the product is not limited to retail accounts, okay? It's not meant as merely an implementation of so-called open banking phase 1 or anything like that. It enables data portability, period. And we can build whatever types of accounts, whatever data sets, okay? The possibilities are limitless. Another very, very valuable use case that we're powering live today is for small business data, okay? So for small businesses, most, if not all of them, use online accounting to, record their transactions, et cetera, ultimately file their taxes. If they bank with you and your bank does not have an API-powered connectivity, it means they're scraping their account in order to power their online accounting. Screen scraping connections being prone to errors or breaking means that there can be inaccuracies in the reporting, which ultimately, at the end of the year, can result in very obvious and very serious consequences, right? Errors in your tax filings, et cetera. So huge problem for small businesses, which when you migrate towards an API-based connection, gets solved for them. So possibilities are limitless. There's one very interesting proof of concept we're starting to work on right now, which is to migrate portfolios, like wealth portfolios, which is still in a lot of places very, very manual. So again, sky's the limit. This is just a little visual of revoking the consent. So here we have a user connecting to fictional megabank. They're connecting a mortgage application, which now appears after they authenticated it. And now back from within their account, they can revoke that provider once they're done with them or for whatever reason they like. So that was about our open banking enabling product. Now let's talk a little bit about our payment product, which enables instant, risk-free transfer of money. So EFTs in Canada are, as we all know, not real-time, okay? Everyone recognizes the steps here. When you want to initiate an EFT, you first validate the account, and then there's a bunch of steps you need to go through, which result in ultimately the settlement account settling, et cetera. We're talking several business days from start to finish, okay? And I said it earlier, we live in the era of instant expectations, okay? When your customers are moving money from their account elsewhere to you, they want to have access now to use it to do whatever it is they want to do. So during these several business days, you're faced with a dilemma. You either have to advance them the money, in which case you're taking credit risk and also, liquidity. Okay, you're also causing a liquidity problem to yourself. Or you can wait until it settles, in which case you're imposing negative customer experience to your customer. So that dilemma is now solved. So with our guaranteed EFT product, we do all the steps for you, and we give the money to you instantly, no disputes, no chargebacks, no strings attached. Yeah. And when we do the steps, here's what it looks like from the customer point of view. So they link their other account from which they want to pay. And then once they're linked with us, we run our analytics within that account. So a bunch of fraud controls, okay? We can check from within, so no chance of forgery. We can check from within age of the account, transaction history. We have very elaborate risk models that check everything. And then we analyze the credit worthiness. Do they have big enough balance? What's their cash flow, et cetera, et cetera. So very, very cutting edge credit risk models that power just about every alternative lender in the country, by the way. So we run this, and then we make a determination of, okay, is this credit worthy or not, okay? If it is, like I was mentioning, we give you the money, and there it is. From the standpoint of your user, it was instant, intuitive, and from your standpoint, you have the money instantly, no risk. Also, the fact that you don't have to worry about us and the pending transaction does not mean you don't have visibility on it, okay? So every time this happens, we return a risk rating. It's either low, medium, or high, and we provide the justifications for it. If it's low, it means just accept it, this is good. If it's medium, it's your choice. You can decide to accept it and pay a higher premium for the increased risk, or turn it down. And if it's high risk, it doesn't pass. So the user is going to be told that, unfortunately, they cannot fund their account instantly. While we process the transaction in the background, even if, again, you don't have to worry about it, it doesn't mean you don't have the visibility. So detailed AML tracking, real-time status of the transaction and where it's at, it's all available for you. Even if, like I said, you don't have to worry about it, doesn't mean you can't have the visibility on it. So that's, in a nutshell, our account funding product, again, available today. That's it from me this morning. Very proud to show how we solve for both these very tough challenges in the financial industry. Please stop by booth 25 if you want more details, and enjoy the rest of the conference, everyone.